Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Sabrina, which is the founder CEO of NIL Roadmap. So Sabrina, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Harry. What the 5 steps to making your first million, or at least being successful, is 1, set clear goals. I'm going to go over each of them. 2, develop a strong work ethic. 3, continual learning and an adaptation. 4, build supportive network. 5, stay resilient.
Wow.
Now, those are the 5, and we'll start digging into those.
Absolutely. Before we start digging into this, Sabrina, we would like to know how is your life as an entrepreneur? Why you decided to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would say my life is 24/7. You know, some people say that they want to be an entrepreneur, so you're not working 9 to 5. But the reality is you're working all the time as an entrepreneur. But what I really think is fascinating about being your own boss is the fact that you could be creative and take your company in any direction you want to. If you have an idea, you can act upon it, and you could have this idea come from your head to being a product that people use every single day. So not only are you a creative person, you're a problem solver, you get to just expand, and it's like playtime every day, but you're making business out of it.
Okay, so why you decided to become an entrepreneur? Do you have any entrepreneur in your family? Do you have any source of inspiration, or was kind of by accident?
Really?
You read the book?
Really?
What happened?
My dad, go ahead.
Yeah. Keep going. Your dad? Yeah.
My dad was an entrepreneur, and so I just took that inspiration from him. And so watching him do his own companies, I just thought that was really fascinating, and being able to try and reciprocate what he does.
Yeah. And sometimes do you find it a bit challenging that, I have to start my own company, but I have to be as good as my dad, or do you have some support from your family that they give you your own space and you can do your own journey by yourself?
Yeah, I don't find it challenging from an
Is your dad
expectations
happy
point of
that
view.
you're an entrepreneur, or he wants you to find a job?
Oh no, he's very happy. My family completely supports me. They help me with my business, which is really exciting. And my dad actually is my mentor, so he teaches me everything that he wish he knows, and really is just a guidance for me throughout it. So they really support me. And so there's no fear of, am I good enough? It's no, you are good enough, coming from my family, and how can we help support you to be the best you that you can be?
So tell me, tell us a little bit more about your business and why you thought that it was a need in the market for that business.
Yeah, so my business is NIL Roadmap. We help high school student athletes develop their NIL, from personal branding to accounting. We have legal compliance, even to recruiting and mentorship from college athletes. And why there really is a need for it, as someone who is still a current collegiate athlete, the whole world of NIL is really difficult to navigate. And for those out there who don't know what NIL is, it stands for name, image, likeness. Where since 2021, college athletes now have the opportunity to monetize off those 3 things through social media posts, through public appearances, autographs, all that. And since the 3 years it's been out, it's been really hectic to try and figure out how to exactly do this. It's one of those things where you know that you should now incorporate it into your daily life, but most people don't know how to build a personal brand, how to create content, how to contact brands. And so as someone who's been through it all, the good and the bad of NIL so far, I want to teach the next generation how to go through that so they could avoid all the bad parts of the road that I had to go through.
Yeah, so you're a former athlete also?
Yes, I'm a current athlete at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a track and field athlete.
So what sport do you play?
Track and field. Specifically, I'm a thrower. So I do hammer and shot put.
Oh, wow, amazing, fantastic. Okay, let's talk about this because I train some athletes in public speaking and they do talks in the schools and they do some keynote speaking. But this is what we find. We find that athletes, which is something amazing because it's very inspiring, especially for goal setting and discipline and follow your coach, your mentor, so you can achieve your goal. Yes, but we find athletes that after their career finish, they it's like a big hole in their life because they don't know what to do, they don't know where to start. And again, exactly, they have a lot of material to create a strong personal brand what they've been athletes and create a big following. And this also, even in the future when they left the career, they can monetize and they can get a lot of different opportunities like keynote speech and appearances in events. But if that brand is not built, then and that profile is not there, they get forgiven. I think one artist
Right.
that we work close with is an athlete. Is the first gold medal in gymnastics in the history of Scotland. So it's even a big achievement what he actually
Right.
accomplished. However, it took a while for us working with him because we need to train him in public speaking. Now he does amazing speeches, public speaking, and I think that he managed to close a contract with the schools to do speeches for the kids and in a lot of schools in UK. But it took a while since we started working with him to actually um, um, get them ready with the profile in order that he can be hired as a speaker
Right.
inspire kids. Yeah, I remember his speech starting when he was jumping and doing some jumps to the kids, and after he talks and kids love this. He's a former gymnastics, so
Right.
a
I
few
bet they went crazy over that.
yeah, to do a few flips in front of the kids they were crazy and they were very motivated to hear what he had to say. So, how important is for athletes since they are, and I get it that they're training all the time, and like, even you have to do your task at the university and also train. So it's very little time to actually put time and effort and energy in building your personal brand. And but this is something that it will be your future because you can make a life out of this, and you can monetize your athlete experience all the way even when you retire. But not so many athletes. It's not that they don't work on this; they don't even know that this thing exists. And it's sad because they have a lot of material. They have all these amazing videos, these amazing pictures performing and competing, and all these media
Right.
assets they get wasted, and sometimes it's difficult to collect because they don't have them anymore.
Hmm.
So
No, for sure.
yeah, so training in building this brand for them is actually a huge value. So how you communicate with them, how you enroll them, how you communicate, how important it is, because I think you have to educate the need because they don't even know that they need that, right?
Right. I think the biggest challenge is that because NIL is still so new, lots of people don't even know what it is. So it really just starts with education. What is NIL? Then once you explain to people what it is, because it's a buzzword right now. You say NIL, it's like, oh, that's the newest thing that has come out. And then the next thing, once you understand what it is, then it's like, okay, well, how do I apply that to me? How do I apply it to my client? And so putting it in the perspective of this is what it is now. See the benefits of how it could actually help you and where your future can go with NIL. So then applying it to their life, they see the vision and it's like, okay, well, let us explain to you how the vision will work. Here's our process, A, B, and C. We take them through it because we're a consulting business, so help walk them through that process. and get them on that roadmap to NIL.
Yeah, and then you guys support them in creating content, right?
Yeah, so we do many things, as I mentioned earlier. Personal branding, I would say, is probably one of the biggest things about NIL. Most of the NIL deals, I would say over 70% come from social media. So whether you're promoting a brand through it, you're making a paid advertisement for it, lots of it comes from that. And so if you don't have a social media presence, then it's really difficult to do NIL unless you're a really, really popular person without it, which even then is difficult to do. So it really all starts with personal branding and everything that helps supplement that.
Yeah, personal branding, one very important element is to create high quality content and to build that community. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so any tip that we have for athletes there, how they can use what they have at the moment and start to build and grow the community?
Any advice?
Yes.
Yeah, some advice for athletes that are trying to grow their community, I would say, is just really starting and putting yourself out there. I think as an athlete, we understand how a team works. And so understanding how to add people to your team. Here at NIL Roadmap, we are your team. We help you with the legal side. We help you with your accounting so you understand finances. We help you with the personal branding so you have someone to bounce ideas off of, do the content for you, whatever you need. And so even without the NIL thing, just being an entrepreneur or just developing yourself as a person, you need a team. So having someone who's like a mentor to you in whatever field you're in, or someone that helps you with, your fitness. Maybe you need a trainer to help keep that physical side of you just active. Finding those people in your corner to help you grow.
So you guys operate like an arm, like the arm for the athletes, intend to make sure that they're on the right track with the social media, the legal, and everything they need to be the strong personal brand. Is that correct?
Right. And on top of that, as you mentioned earlier, there's so much you have to do. Not only are you a student and athlete, which is already a 2-time full job, you're adding a third full-time job on top of that, which is content creation. And so our goal is really to just take that burden off of you. So now you don't have to think about it. It's something you're still doing, but it's less time that you have to put forth. And then you can put time back into what you're actually passionate about, which is your sport and going to school.
And so how you identify this problem? This is a problem that you actually have yourself and you decided to work on that?
Yeah, so I could see it from both myself, but from other people as well. I've seen just that, working and being a college athlete in just the school setting space, lots of rules are slow to be adapted, but sometimes what you do in the meantime doesn't catch up for it. For example, if you do an NIL deal, you don't have to always say how much money you get for your deal. It's not regulated. And so that the regulation takes time to come in. So that's kind of like the wild, wild west when it comes to legislation in the NIL world. And so just seeing lots of my friends, hearing their stories with NIL and knowing my own, I just thought, man, like there has to be a solution to this, but there isn't. So I was like, well, I might as well just make one.
Wow, that's amazing. So how long you been doing this and what was the biggest challenges that you have built in your business?
How long have I been doing it?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're still a startup. We started 3 months ago and we have a couple clients now. And I would say the biggest challenge is just really building our team. I think because we are still a startup, making sure that everyone on our team is vetted as an expert and making sure that we do have the best in the industry because we want to provide the best service we can.
Yeah. And then when you sign the athletes to work with you, this is great because you can see the growth and then that growth can actually help them to go further, right?
Right. And I think it's just such a fulfilling feeling when you see athletes have the opportunity to go to college and go to their actual dream school. I know that when you talk to athletes, like they're just really good athletes, but they don't always get the eyes that they need on them to be seen because they're not on social media, which is totally okay because, they're too focused on their sport. And so being able to help them get the best of both worlds is very satisfying.
Yeah. And then, Sabrina, How do you learn about personal branding? When do you discover that this is something really powerful that athletes can leverage?
I discovered this about 4 years ago. I
Wow.
was doing NIL pre-NIL, and I was doing Olympic weightlifting, which is not an NCAA sport. And so I was doing that, posting about my fitness journey. And I just realized the power of personal branding because I was able to get sponsored to travel across the US to go compete in Olympic weightlifting.
Wow.
And this is me in high school, just going around the U.S. competing, and I was fully sponsored by my favorite supplement company. And so when I went to college and figured out what NIL was, I was like, wow, it's the same thing but for a different sport. And not a lot of people know that. It could just be such a huge help because as someone like me who's in a sport like track and field, to even receive a half scholarship is a lot for track and field.
Of course.
So most track athletes don't have a full ride or even a half. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Or even just a half ride. And so to be able to supplement the rest of your scholarship and be able to not have to worry about how am I supposed to pay for my college when I don't have time for a job and be able to have an opportunity like NIL come up. It's a really cool opportunity.
Yeah. And then basically, when you learn how to do that, then a lot of opportunities can come to the athletes in terms of sponsorships, in terms of opportunity. And this can last, like I said, maybe your career as an athlete will finish, but your personal brand, it will stay there forever, right? And you can
Right.
always the same sponsor, for example, that now is sponsor you for you to go around and compete. Maybe can sponsor you next time to go and do talks for kids or to do talk for entrepreneur to inspire them. It's a lot of similarity between sports and entrepreneurship because
Right.
you have the discipline, you have you need to follow your coach, your mentor, and you have to be consistent and still you have to be flexible to find the best strategy. So how are you managing the three things: the school, the training, plus the company? It's a lot of work. Seems a lot of work to me.
Yeah. It is a lot of work, and I would say that the secret to it all is really just time management. When you're passionate about something or someone, you'll make time for it, or you'll make time for them. And so for me, I'm passionate about all three, so I make time for all three. And, school and athletics is a big priority for me because that's going to college right now, but also just making sure that when I come out of college, I'm basically creating a job for myself. I'm creating the internship that I otherwise would not have. And so being able to know that I'm creating my future now while I'm still in college is very rewarding. So I'll make time on the side to do what I can to support that.
Absolutely, and the more you grow this business, the more athletes are going to join, and you can end up with a very big community, right? Because athletes has a lot of following. I remember our friend, the person that we work with, they actually people know them. They even when they do gymnastics in the he has be one of the presenters in the TV. So he have a very good name, and in the British people know who he is, right? So
Right.
how do you think that athletes? And I remember what that I told him. Listen, when you are in the TV, record all this, and you can put in your social media, and this will help you to build your personal brand, and also when you do these talks. So what do you think that and you guys provide all this service for the athletes? So the athletes basically they need to send you the media and you guys handle all the social media and everything for them, right?
Can you repeat that again for
Yeah.
me?
So how the system works? So the athletes can send you all the images, and then you guys create the content for them, right?
Well, Because we're still a startup, I can't share too much about how we operate because I don't want anyone to take that.
Funny.
Highly say can't answer that.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So what's your plan, Sabrina? So how we gonna um, enroll more athletes in your platform?
Yeah, so first starting local. I live in Tennessee and there's a lot of great talent here in Tennessee. And so just recruiting from even my neighborhood, my neighbor down the street, his mom was a UCLA basketball player.
Oh
And
wow.
so just taking from the talent in my neighborhood to the local level of Chattanooga and to where I live now in Nashville. So I think I could find a lot of talent from there. And then once we really start developing my first clientele, it goes into expanding into other areas or different states. And so if I have strong connections here, start off where I'm strong, and then I can move into the areas where I'm not familiar with, such as like South Dakota, where I haven't been there, but I like to be there, and just expanding where you can.
Yeah, but the whole point is like this: to empower them for them to create the community. Because one, they have their own community that follows them. This is an asset for life because they can offer products and services to that community. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, so would be an asset for life. So what message do you have from athletes or for people in general that they say, well, I don't have time for my personal brand. I don't want to work on that. I just want to do my own thing. And they disregard this. So which message do you have for these people?
I tell them they're right. I don't think NIL's for everyone. I really just think it's for the people who are willing to put the work in. Because as much as some people say, yeah, everyone could do it, it's something that all college athletes could do, or just even high school athletes. Yeah, it is something they can do. But do they want to do it?
Yeah,
That's not something that everyone wants to put time and energy into. And so unless you're hungry and you actually want to learn, then let's talk. But if you're not passionate about it, I'm not going to force you to do something.
absolutely. No, but in the end of the day, maybe it's for lack of knowledge because, like I said, we saw so many athletes that with brilliant careers and then with the careers and athlete finish, it's like they are forgotten. They haven't worked on the personal brand, and it's like they need to start all over. And this has an impact on the mental health of the athletes itself. Because imagine that you used to compete, you are used to to be in this high performance, and then eventually you retire and then that's it. The whole thing goes out, and people forget about you. However, if you work from the beginning as an athlete in your personal brand and you build that community and you have the relation with that community, it doesn't matter that you retire. People still keep following you. There are sport people out there that they have a brand and they have managed to leverage out of this brand. I met personally a Coach Carter, right, which is they make a movie about his life. It was played by Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, when I traveled to US, I spent some time with him. And look, this is not even an athlete. This is a coach. However, they make a movie about his life, right? So he
Right.
do a lot of keynote speech, and he has a very good brand. And the other one that I spoke at the same event, it was Eddie the Eagle, which is it was no.
Yes, I love that movie. I saw it on the airplane.
You saw the movie, so yeah, Eddie the Eagle. I spoke in 2016 when I talk about my book in an event that he was speaker there. So even and I remember that everybody loved it, and regardless, you saw the movie, right? It's not that he win a significant gold medal. However, he has a good style to make people to like him and to make the people fall in love with him, and that managed to build this brand for this athlete that
Right.
kind of make history. I think there was the first UK person that competed
Yes. He
in the
definitely has an interesting story. It's been so good chatting with you. I know we're coming up on time,
Yeah.
So I'll have to leave the floor up to any remaining questions.
Yes. So that's it, Sabrina. So what? How people? If some athletes they are they're listening this podcast and they want to join and they want to work with you, how they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sabrina10_fit. All my other social medias are going to be in my bio.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for the podcast and for see you in the next chapter. Bye for now.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.